The orbital city of Rizine Prime glimmered like a jeweled crown suspended in the void. Its curved towers stretched toward the stars, each spire woven from living alloys that pulsed with alien bioluminescence. The central council ring rotated slowly, light scattering across the surrounding fleets. Hundreds of ships from dozens of civilizations hung in silent orbit, vast engines dormant, hulls shimmering with banners of their nations. Among them drifted a modest human cruiser, the Resolute Dawn. It looked fragile compared to the leviathans anchored nearby, Carthlan dreadnoughts plated in obsidian armor, merchant colossi from the Varic clans, and crystalline spheres belonging to the serene Kilari. Where others radiated grandeur, Earth's vessel appeared plain, built for function rather than spectacle. To many, it symbolized humanity's weakness. Admiral Elias Kalen studied the endless vista from the viewport before stepping into the council chamber. His face was calm, though a storm simmered beneath. The fate of his people would be decided today, not by diplomacy alone but by the arrogance of those who mocked them. He straightened his dark uniform, the Earth Fleet insignia catching the light, and strode forward. The chamber was vast, a circular amphitheater with tiers of floating seats arranged around a central platform. Each delegate sat within a translucent sphere, colors shifting to match their species. The air buzzed with overlapping voices, translated instantly through the chamber's neural lattice. At the core, a holographic map of known space revolved slowly, red outlines marking disputed territories. When Kalen entered, conversations dimmed. Dozens of alien eyes, slitted, multifaceted, glowing, shifted toward him. Some whispered, others smirked openly. The silence that followed was more insulting than the words. High Lord Vaelith Zarthuin rose within his obsidian sphere, the floor beneath him igniting with violet flame. His towering form, scaled and draped in ceremonial armor, filled the space with menace. Counselors, his deep voice reverberated. We gather not to debate but to face a truth. Humanity, the infant race of soul, has proven itself reckless, violent, and dangerously ambitious. Their fleets are toys, their colonies fragile. They would destabilize the balance we have maintained for millennia. A ripple of agreement passed among the council. Delegates from long-established empires nodded gravely, while others chuckled behind folded hands. Zarthuin's crimson eyes locked on Kalen. These upstarts beg for equality while clinging to crude machines. They claim sovereignty, yet they cannot even defend their borders without outside aid. Shall we entrust them with autonomy? Or shall we place them under guardianship, where their chaos can be contained? Laughter followed, sharp, echoing, cruel. A Kilari elder, her crystalline body glowing softly, tilted her head. Perhaps Earth should accept protection. A child requires guidance. Another delegate hissed. If their kind cannot manage themselves, what hope have they among the stars? Kalen remained motionless, though his officers flinched behind him. He had known this would come. Mockery was their weapon, and humiliation their intent. Still, his jaw tightened as he stepped onto the central platform. High Lord Zarthuin, Kalen began, his voice carrying with clipped precision. Your dominion boasts 6 centuries of dominance. Your fleets are vast, your people ancient. Yet you fear us. Murmurs broke out. Zarthuin's eyes narrowed. Kalen continued. If we were truly insignificant, you would not waste your breath. You would not summon this council to strip us of sovereignty. You laugh at our ships, call us children. But history does not honor the mockery of the old. It honors the victories of the bold. Silence stretched, broken only by the hum of the chamber. Some delegates exchanged uneasy glances. Others bristled, insulted by his audacity. Zarthuin's lips curled in disdain. You speak of victories, yet what battles can you claim? Skirmishes against raiders? A single border war with pirates? You stand on the threshold of the galaxy and expect to be welcomed as equals? Kalen's reply was steady. We stand here not asking for welcome, but demanding recognition. If strength is your measure, then let us prove ours. Whispers rose like a storm. A Draylan captain, his insectoid mandibles clicking, leaned forward. Prove it? How? Kalen turned to the council. A trial. Fleet to fleet, Let humanity demonstrate its readiness in combat. Should we fail, Earth will accept oversight. Should we prevail, our sovereignty remains untouched. The suggestion sparked chaos. Some shouted approval, entertained by the prospect of spectacle, while others objected to the risk. The chamber filled with voices until Zarthuan raised a clawed hand and silence fell again. You would gamble your people's fate on a battle? Zarthuan's laughter was low and cutting. So be it. In 3 cycles, at the Arcturus expanse, your fleet will face mine. And when your ships burn, all will see the folly of your pride. The declaration sealed the council's will. The trial was set. Kalen inclined his head. Then we are agreed. The session adjourned in a flurry of whispers. Some aliens looked upon him with pity, others with cruel amusement. To them, Earth's defeat was inevitable. The Dominion's fleets had shattered far greater powers. What chance had a species barely 2 centuries into spaceflight? As Kalen left the chamber, his officers followed in tense silence. Once aboard the Resolute Dawn, they spoke at last. They'll crush us, Captain Leora said, her brow furrowed. Their dreadnoughts outnumber ours 10-1. Commander Holt muttered. They think we're fools walking into execution. Kalen's gaze remained fixed on the stars beyond the viewport. That's exactly what I want them to think. The room quieted. Leora stepped closer, searching his face. Sir, do we have a plan? For a long moment he said nothing. His mind flashed with memories. His father, lost in Earth's first skirmish against pirates, when humanity had no allies, no fleets to shield them. He had sworn then that Earth would never kneel again. Finally, Kalen answered, his voice low but certain. They believe we have only what they can see. They forget that humanity's greatest strength has never been in numbers or size. It lies in what we hide until the moment it matters. His officers exchanged uneasy glances but held their tongues. They trusted him, even if they did not yet understand. Kalen clasped his hands behind his back, eyes hard with resolve. 3 cycles from now, the galaxy will learn a lesson it has long forgotten: never underestimate Earth. Outside, the human cruiser floated quietly amid a sea of alien warships. To onlookers, it was small, unthreatening, a child among giants. Yet hidden within Kalen's calm was the certainty of something greater, a secret the galaxy had not yet glimpsed. The days on Rosine Prime slipped by with an uneasy stillness. Within the great orbital station, markets bustled and fleets came and went, but for humanity the countdown had begun. 3 cycles remained until the trial, and whispers followed Admiral Elias Kalen wherever he walked. Aliens eyed him with concealed laughter, already convinced they would witness Earth's humiliation. From the command deck of the Resolute Dawn, Kalen studied tactical holos displaying the coming battlefield, the Arcturus expanse, an empty system chosen for its vast dust fields and unstable gravitational currents. A dangerous place for most fleets. For him, it was an opportunity. His officers gathered around the glowing sphere of projected stars. Captain Liara crossed her arms tightly. They'll come with at least 20 capital ships, probably more. We'll be lucky to field a dozen cruisers. Commander Holt leaned forward, voice sharp. Even if we fight bravely, we'll be obliterated. What then, Admiral? We surrender Earth to their leash? Kalen's gaze lingered on the shifting hollow, his tone calm. You're both right. On paper, the Dominion crushes us. That's the image they expect. It's the image we've let them believe. The room fell silent, tension hanging like static. Lieutenant Armand finally asked, Then what aren't we seeing, sir? Kalen allowed a faint smile. Patience. You'll see soon enough. Until then, let them underestimate us. That arrogance is our greatest weapon. A glimpse into the past. That night, Kalen stood alone in his quarters, the dim light casting shadows across the steel walls. A worn datapad rested in his hands, displaying archived footage of humanity's earliest ventures into deep space. Fragile ships of metal and hope, crewed by pioneers who had little more than courage to shield them. He remembered those first losses vividly, the pirate raids that left colonies shattered, the desperate battles fought with outdated weapons. His father had been among the fallen. That scar had never faded, shaping the vow that now guided him: humanity would never again be mocked as prey. From that pain had risen the Phantom Fleet project. Conceived in secrecy, hidden from prying alien eyes, it was humanity's gamble, an armada invisible to conventional detection, born from ingenuity no council elder believed possible. Kalen had overseen its development, nurturing it in silence while presenting Earth as weak. The disguise had worked. Now, on the edge of humiliation, the moment to reveal it approached. Alien arrogance. The council convened again to confirm preparations. Delegates spoke with excitement, voices eager for spectacle. The humans should surrender now, hissed a Draylen envoy, mandibles snapping in amusement. They'll crumble in the first salvo, another predicted. High Lord Zarthun sat enthroned in his obsidian sphere, expression carved from contempt. Let them bring whatever vessels they possess. My dominion will scatter them like dust. Their cries will echo as warning to every child race that dares dream of equality. Kalen met his gaze across the chamber. His voice cut through the noise. Careful, High Lord. Overconfidence has slain greater powers than yours. The chamber laughed again, yet a few listeners, quiet, observant, watched Kalen with new interest. They sensed something beneath his calm, though none could name it. Private strain. Back aboard the Resolute Dawn, Kalen's officers pressed him harder. Captain Liara whispered fiercely, Admiral, you can't keep us in the dark. The crews are restless. They believe we march toward death. Kalen regarded her steadily. Do you trust me? Her jaw clenched, then she nodded reluctantly. Yes. But they deserve something more than silence. He turned toward the stars, voice low. Trust is built in shadows. When the time comes, you'll have more than enough proof. The unease remained, but his certainty steadied them. Humanity had little choice but to believe in the man who carried their fate. Mobilization. As the trial approached, the Dominion fleet arrived at Rosine Prime. Dreadnoughts the size of cities unfurled their wings of steel, weapons glinting like serrated teeth. The sight drew gasps even from seasoned council veterans. In contrast, Earth's modest squadron assembled, frigates and cruisers refitted hastily, hulls scarred from past encounters. To outsiders, it looked pitiful. Kalen let the image stand. At the docking bays, alien spectators jeered openly as human crews marched aboard their ships. Brave little lambs, one taunted. Straight to the slaughter. Commander Holt bristled, fists tightening, but Kalen stopped him with a glance. Save it, he murmured. Every insult they hurl strengthens the silence we'll answer with later. The journey to Arcturus. When the fleets departed, hyperspace shimmered with energy wakes. The Dominion armada stretched like a black tide, disciplined and vast. Humanity's ships trailed behind, dwarfed shadows beside giants. Within the observation vessels carrying neutral council representatives, chatter buzzed. Some wagered on how many minutes Earth would last. Others debated whether Kalen would even engage before surrendering. Kalen remained unreadable, seated in his command chair as stars blurred past. Only when the ship's officers had drifted into their stations did he whisper to himself, Let them laugh a little longer. Arrival at the Expanse. The Arcturus system unfolded in violent beauty. A crimson star burned at its core, flanked by broken asteroid belts and swirling clouds of metallic dust. The unstable gravity wells twisted light itself, a treacherous arena where careless captains often met their end. The Dominion fleet deployed first, forming elegant spearhead formations. Their dreadnoughts glowed with power, energy shields shimmering like firestorms. Every move was designed to impress the council audience. Humanity's fleet emerged moments later, small, scattered, uncertain in formation. To the watching delegates, it was confirmation of their weakness. On the bridge of the Resolute Dawn, officers exchanged nervous glances. We'll be torn apart, Lieutenant Armin muttered. They'll annihilate us before we close distance. Kalen remained calm. His eyes swept the tactical display, lingering on the dust fields that rippled with unseen currents. Patience. They've shown their claws. Now let them bare their throat. The final moment before. High Lord Zarthuin's voice thundered across the calm channels, broadcast for the council. Admiral Kalen, behold the might of the Dominion. Last chance, surrender, and I may leave Earth intact. Kalen answered without hesitation. You'll forgive me if I prefer the fight to your mercy. Laughter erupted from alien ships. Energy weapons charged, the space between fleets alive with sparks of coming destruction. On the Resolute Dawn, alarms pulsed as enemy weapons locked on. Officers braced, fear raw on their faces. Kalen stood, eyes cold, voice steady as steel. All ships prepare to engage. And when the signal comes... He paused, the faintest hint of a smile tugging at his lips. You'll understand why they should never have mocked us. The countdown began. Dominion cannons flared, blazing arcs streaking across the void. Humanity's fragile fleet looked moments from obliteration. Kalen raised his hand. His voice carried across the bridge. Activate Phantom Protocol. The void erupted in light. Dominion cannons spat beams of violet fire, tearing across the expanse. Explosions blossomed as human frigates buckled under the first barrage, their shields flaring and failing. Watching from observation vessels, alien delegates murmured approval. To them, the outcome seemed settled before the battle had truly begun. Yet aboard the Resolute Dawn, Admiral Elias Kalen stood perfectly still. His command carried through the fleet's channels with absolute clarity. Phantom Protocol execute. At first, nothing happened. Then the dark shifted. Across the asteroid belt, ripples spread like distortions in water. One by one, black-hulled vessels materialized from nothing, their outlines peeling free of shadow. Dozens, then scores, then an entire armada shimmering into existence. Sleek, angular ships bristling with weapons, their hulls absorbing starlight. Humanity's hidden strength revealed itself, silent predators encircling the Dominion fleet. Gasps echoed across the council channels. A Kilari elder whispered, "Impossible!" Others hissed in disbelief. For centuries, the Dominion had mocked humanity's weakness. Now, without warning, humans had unveiled a fleet no intelligence service had foreseen. On the Dominion flagship, High Lord Zarthuin rose from his throne, crimson eyes blazing. Stealth sorcery. He spat. Tricks and shadows. Break them! Kalen's voice was calm, almost cold. All phantom wings, commence strike. Target their eyes. The hidden fleet surged forward. Electronic pulses flooded Dominion systems, scrambling targeting arrays and shattering sensor locks. Dominion dreadnoughts fired wildly into the dust, their accuracy crippled. Phantom frigates darted in and out, launching torpedoes that slipped past disrupted shields, detonating against armor. On the observation decks, chaos broke out. Their ships vanished from every scan. How? Cried a Varick captain. Another shouted. They've masked their energy signatures. That's not possible. Kalen listened to none of it. His focus narrowed to the unfolding ballet of war. Squadron 3, disable that carrier's launch bays. Wing 5, harass their flanks, keep them turning. His orders flowed like water, each precise and calculated. Where the Dominion moved with brute force, the Phantom fleet answered with cunning and speed. Dominion's fury. High Lord Zarthuin slammed a clawed fist onto his command dais. Overwhelm them! Full bombardment! His dreadnoughts unleashed concentrated fire, violet beams carving through the dust clouds. One human cruiser shuddered, breaking apart in flame. Cheers erupted from Dominion crews. But the celebration was brief. 3 Phantom corvettes decloaked behind the attacking dreadnought, loosing coordinated salvos. Explosions ripped across its engines, power systems collapsing in a cascade. The behemoth drifted powerless, its vast bulk a carcass in the void. Zarthuin's snarl rattled his bridge. Savages! They dare strike my flagship formation! Humanity's discipline. On the Resolute Dawn, Commander Holt's voice cracked with awe. We're driving them back, sir. Kalen shook his head. Not back. Controlled pressure. We're not here to annihilate them, only to prove we belong. Why spare them? Holt demanded. Because fear fades. Respect endures. Today we earn the latter. His restraint guided every maneuver. Phantom ships targeted weapons, sensors, and engines, disabling without slaughter. Each crippled Dominion vessel floated as silent testimony to precision over rage. The turning point. The Dominion, desperate to reclaim momentum, deployed their superweapon. The dreadnought Dominus Veyer unleashed a gravitational lance, tearing a human cruiser nearly in half. Shockwaves rippled across comms as screams filled Kalen's ears. For a brief moment, doubt pierced even his composure. Then his voice returned, sharp and steady. All wings converge on the Dominus Veyer. Break its spine. The Phantom fleet moved as one. Torpedo swarms streaked through the dust, shields collapsing under relentless strikes. Cloaked ships decloaked point-blank, releasing plasma bursts before vanishing again. In coordinated rhythm, they dismantled the Dominion Titan piece by piece. Its weapon flickered, sputtered, then died. A final barrage shattered its engines, leaving the dreadnought crippled and drifting. Gasps of disbelief swept the council. They disabled a Dominion supership. Zarthan's roar shook his bridge. No! Fire everything! Destroy them all! The clash of wills. Dominion vessels broke formation, panic spreading as systems failed under relentless disruption. Human ships pressed the advantage, striking where arrogance had left gaps. Kalen watched the battle unfold with unflinching eyes. Zarthan fought with rage, his commands laced with fury. Kalen answered with precision, calm and surgical. One man fought to dominate, the other to endure and prove. Status on our casualties? Kalen asked quietly. Leora's voice was grim. 2 cruisers gone. 37 dead, many wounded. But sir, they're still fighting. Every crew, every ship to the last. Kalen nodded. That's who we are. That's why we will not kneel. Resolution. As the final minutes stretched, Dominion fleets faltered. One after another, their vessels powered down or limped away, unwilling to face further humiliation. The once proud armada was broken, not destroyed but humbled. Kalen opened a channel to the council chambers. His image filled the holographic displays, face calm, voice steady. You asked if humanity was fit to stand among you. Today we stood, not with numbers, not with age, but with resolve. You called us children. Yet we have fought as equals. Let this trial serve as our answer. The chamber was silent. Even the most disdainful delegates could not deny what they had witnessed. Some bowed their heads in reluctant respect. Others scowled, but none dared mock. High Lord Zarthan's voice finally cut through, venom dripping. This changes nothing. You are still fragile, still mortal. Kalen's gaze did not waver. Perhaps. But remember this, fragile things do not break so easily. And mortal though we are, today we stood against you, and we did not fall. Aftermath. The council adjourned in uneasy silence, the balance of power subtly shifted. Humanity was no longer dismissed, no longer a curiosity. They had forced recognition, not through endless speeches but through undeniable strength. On the resolute dawn, crews cheered, exhausted but exhilarated. Officers embraced, relief flooding through them. Yet Kalen remained at the viewport, watching the crippled Dominion ships drift among the stars. Leora approached quietly. We did it, sir. They'll never mock us the same way again. Kalen's eyes stayed on the stars. No. They'll respect us. And they'll fear us. But make no mistake, today was only the beginning. From now on, every eye in the galaxy will watch us, waiting for us to stumble. Our real trial begins now. He stood straighter, the weight of command settling back upon his shoulders. The Phantom fleet had struck, but the war for humanity's place in the galaxy had only just begun. Final line. They laughed at us as children. Now they will fear us as equals.